Hello there. It's COVID-19 update by Heerak show for May 8th, 2020. And today we have a reason to celebrate. It's the last day of final exams at Georgetown University. So congratulations, all the Hoyas, Georgetown University students who finished their finals today. Betsy from my clinical nurse leader program kind of sent out a group message to all of us cohort members asking to share a celebration song. And I shared that this with my cohort 2020 members for clinical nurse leader program at Georgetown University. All of us are graduating in the summer 2020. And we all just finished our final exam at like around 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m. So this is the song that I share with my cohort members, and I'm gonna share with you. Hi, cohort members. Hope all of you are celebrating. Here's the song. And it's a song by Arkady Dokin, who's one of my favorite Israeli singers. And it's called Yesh Bi Ahava. I have love in Hebrew, modern Hebrew. As you know, I lived over 3 years in Israel, in Jerusalem. I'm an expert of Jewish history. So I was a visiting research fellow at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem and Israeli Institute for Advanced Studies in Jerusalem for 3 years, researching Jewish identity. And so I'm one of the world's leading experts on Jewish identity. So yeah, I know Jews better than themselves because I'm one of the leading experts in the world. I myself am a Christian, but yeah, I lived in Israel, and basically 100% of my closest friends were Jews or Israelis. So yeah, and I'm going to be sharing some of my photos from Israel later, so you'll meet my Israeli friends. Yeah. And I'll share some stories with you too. So I think you'll enjoy this show. So these are Israelis singing together in Tel Aviv in year 2019 to Arkady Dokin's song, Yesh Bi Ahava. Yeah, I'm fluent in modern Hebrew. I went to Israel and took every single course there is in modern Hebrew at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem and reached the highest level. I went from Aleph to Vav, Hebrew Orpan, intensive Hebrew for years. Those are fun classes. So congratulations to all the Hoyas at Georgetown who finished their final exam today, and others who finished their final exams and will soon finish their final exams. Summer is almost here, and yeah, for those of us at Georgetown, we're celebrating today. So I celebrate with all the Hoyas now, kind of remotely, I guess, during this era of COVID-19, since we need to social distance and kind of, make sure nobody gets COVID, especially because it's rising in this area in Arlington, Virginia, and Washington, D.C., and Maryland. So we want to make sure nobody gets sick from COVID. But there's no reason not to celebrate, right? So yeah, and I'm wearing my mask, hair. in honor of our president from last year, who threw a really nice Halloween party in our first year during our first year of clinical nurse leader program in our cohort 2020. So we all like hung out at her apartment and kind of celebrated, um, Halloween, and she was wearing a like a wig. so so that's in your honor. Hey. So anyway, yeah, we have great people at our cohort, TNL cohort 2020. So we're done officially with our spring semester 2020. So we have summer semester left because we go basically fall, spring, summer, fall, spring, summer. And we had a pre-class in the summer before the first fall class, first fall semester. So the summer semester is the final semester, and this is the time that we work in a practicum in a hospital, like doing what we want to do. And I applied to work in intensive care unit. So I'm hoping that I'll, end up at Georgetown University MedStar Hospital in Washington, D.C., or Virginia Hospital Center in Arlington. I live in Arlington, so that's the closest hospital from where I live. And it'll be nice to help people, who are my neighbors, people from Arlington, So, but we'll see, So we will hear back from our director about that, our summer clinical nurse leader practicum. So we'll see, where I end up. But yeah, so right now it's a celebration. We have like a week off before the new summer semester starts. And so today is our celebratory episode. So congratulations, Oya, especially those who are actually done for good, because generally you finish in May, but us nursing people, we we have some extra stuff we have to do. But anyway, yeah. So congratulations, everyone. So in the spirit of this congratulation today, we had a slight dip in COVID-19 deaths. So for 3 days, we had consecutive 3 days of over 2,000 COVID deaths, but now we're under 2,000. Yay! So hopefully that will stay like that. In the last 24 hours, we had 1,635 COVID-19 deaths. So yesterday we had total of 75,543 total death in USA. And today we have 77,178 total deaths. And then for confirmed cases, we're kind of staying around the same, around 30,000 per day. And so yesterday we had 1,254,750. And 24 hours later, today we have 1,283,829. Today we're going to look at Middle East. Yeah, I kind of miss, Israel. Israel is a lot of fun. I have to share like all my Israeli stories with you. I have so many because I lived there over 3 years. Made a lot of great friends. You're gonna meet some of them today. Yeah, so I thought we'll do Middle East today. Number one COVID cases. So we're ranking by cases. Is Iran. So that's 104,691 cases, and their total death since the beginning is 6,541 deaths. So that's about 6% death. So 6% of those who have confirmed cases died. So that's Iran. But let's look at the next number 2 cases. That's in Saudi Arabia. And they have 35,432 cases. And look at the deaths. I mean, that's just ridiculous. 229 total deaths. That's less than 1%. Less than 1% of the people who got COVID died. I mean, I think United States of America needs to go and learn from Saudi Arabia. Maybe how do they keep the death rate so low? You know, I mean, Iran is a hot zone, right? It's just really close to Saudi Arabia, so it's not the temperature, right? Because temperature in Saudi Arabia and Iran are similar. So it's not the temperature that's making it different. So how do women do that? You know, kind of appreciate the way women have to kind of maneuver through things, when you wear a wig. Jeez, my gosh, it's not easy. Anyway, yeah. But anyway, yeah. I, female friend of mine was telling me, she's kind of funny. She was saying, there are ways women flirt with guys. I don't know if this is like for all women, but she was saying all women, but I don't know if she's right or not. I'm a guy, so I don't know how it is with women. So it seems like it's like a big secret. But she said, I'll share a secret with you. The way women like flirt with guys is like we sometimes go like this with our hair, and and yeah. So I don't know. I thought they were doing that just to clear their face of their hair, but maybe not. Maybe it's like a multi-purpose. You get to clear your face of your hair and also flirt at the same time. Who knows? I'm not a girl. I'm a guy, so I don't know how that works. But anyway, yeah, you learn a lot from like your female friends. But yeah. Anyway, did I tell you like we have in our cohort we have 26, I think. We have like 26, so it's like three guys and 23 girls. So it's great. I love all my cohort members. I learn a lot from them, and they're all like special in their own way. Every one of them. I think everybody's an individual, so I respect everybody as an individual. So that's just who I am. But you learn a lot. And I enjoy people. Generally, I'm a people lover. So yeah, I just am learning a lot from everybody, and enjoying their company, and so yeah, it's gonna be sad when we all have to graduate and go our separate ways. But maybe we could have like reunion every few years, or every year. I gotta talk to our class rep, Senya Musa is our class rep. About that. She's amazing. She went to HBCU college in Atlanta, Georgia. I shared with you in the previous episode, and she's our class rep, and she's an amazing woman, and she's from my city, Philadelphia. So she's right now in Philly with like her family. So yeah. So because we have this remote learning, she could dial in from there. And yeah, so she seems to be very close with her family, and they seem really nice. So yeah. So anyway, we have like great people in our CNL cohort. So yeah, maybe some of you meet them in the future. Yeah. So anyway, I'm coming to you from Arlington, Virginia, near Columbia Pike. I live in a heavily Hispanic area. I look Hispanic, I'm like Korean, but I kind of look Hispanic. People mistake me for a Hispanic person, and I sometimes mistake Hispanic people for like Korean or like like Chinese or something. They turn out to be like from Colombia or Ecuador. So I guess I mean, they say we're genetically related because long time ago when the continents were arranged differently, Asians walked across and then populated North America, South America, and so they were all actually 100% Asian until European conquerors came with, Christopher Columbus. So yeah, I guess we're genetically like maybe same or similar. So yeah, so that explains why we look alike. And yeah, I'm sure like you've kind of mistaken me for Hispanic as well. So I kind of look Hispanic, right? So yeah. Yeah, so anyway, we're going to go back to Iran. And now we're going to look at number 3, since we looked at Saudi Arabia. Number 3 is Qatar, and they have 20,201 cases, and they have 12 deaths. They have less than 1%. It's like 0.1%. I mean, geez, maybe, U.S. government, CDC should go and learn from Qatar. I mean, it's not the weather because temperature is similar in Iran and Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Look at all the death in Iran. So it's not the hot temperature that's protecting people in the Middle East. If that were the case, no, Iran should not have that many deaths. I mean, they have 6%, right? Yeah, United Arab Emirates do you see that next to my photo? That's a 7-star hotel, the only 7-star hotel in the world. Every night, one night stay is like over $20,000. It's in Dubai, which is in United Arab Emirates. And yeah, I think one of the MI6 movie had used that hotel for their show, right? And I think Tom Cruise, what's his figure in the movie? He was climbing, down the hotel and then, made a little opening in the window and popped in. I think, have you seen that one? It was really cool. I love MI6 series, I've seen every single one. And that one was particularly cool because I think that was at the Dubai hotel, the 7-star hotel. My best buddy at Cambridge University, Martin Wood, and he's like royalty. And he used to go to Dubai with his family for vacation, and he was telling me about it. It's kind of fun, I spent over 5 years at Cambridge, I share with you. You gotta see my Cambridge episodes from before. So just watch all the reruns, and you'll see my Cambridge episode. My best friend at Cambridge University was Martin Wood. He was a PhD student in chemistry when I was there, and he did his bachelor's at Glasgow University. We hung out a lot. I'll share like some photos, and some stories with you. He's a cool guy, and he's like royalty, right? And we're like best buddies, and he'll tell me stuff. I learn a lot from him, and he he's funny because like oh my gosh, I mean this is amazing. He's like scrawny guy. I mean, sorry, Martin, I'm not to insult you or anything. He's not like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like, he looks like a nerd because he's a brain. He's very smart. He went to Harrow's. That's like a high school, private high school, which is like famous in England. So he went to Harrow's, and so he's like like a nerd. He's like chemistry PhD guy. Although at Georgetown University, chemistry PhD students are the funnest partiers. Hey, chemistry PhD students, chemistry department senators. I organize the graduate senate because I'm the vice president of graduate student government. So in August, I started organizing the senators for the graduate senate because we had this senate, and each department, actually each program sends a senator. So master's program, PhD program, they send senators from the same department, and so I organized this, all the senators, I contacted all the director of studies at Georgetown in every school, Wall School of Foreign Service, McDonald School of Business, School of Nursing and Health Studies, where I am, graduate school, Master of Public Policy, the McCord School of Public Policy, the medical school campus, those who are doing PhDs and master's degrees. Yeah, so I organized all the senators, and whenever we have a party, the chemistry PhD students are always there, just partying away. And it's kind of neat, and yeah, so I enjoy talking to chemistry PhD senators, and they're really cool. And the whole department is like really cool. So if you want to do a PhD in chemistry, come to Georgetown. I mean, they're like the greatest people. You'll love it. I mean, they know how to fun. They're intense. They do their work, but they're like, it's like a family, chemistry department there. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Martin is like this chemistry PhD, so he's like nerdy looking. And I would gotta walk around with him, right? And all these like big, tough-looking guy, GQ, pump me up, the people who work out and they have like biceps and triceps, and like, they look like Greek Adonises walking around campus, and all the women like fawn at them. these like it guys, these cool guys would like pay homage to Martin, because like Martin is like royalty, and I think he's like pretty high up there in the British pecking order. I don't know these things because I'm not royalty and I'm not nobility, but at Jesus College, Cambridge, where I was, there were people who were, they had titles, and they're like important people in the British society. And there are people with titles from like Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, England, with just within United Kingdom. And then there are people with titles, princes and princesses from Europe. And another friend of mine, like Martin Wood and I were like best buddies, but we would eat together with, so the group of people that we generally eat together with included a royalty from Macedonia. Queen Elizabeth's husband, Prince Philip, is from Macedonia. He's Macedonian royalty. So, that family. So Ilyusha, I can't pronounce his last name, but yeah, he's like architecture person. Well, I think his father's an architect, and he's like was it international relations? Or did he do architect? Oh my gosh! I mean, we spend a lot of time not really talking about things we study. We just have a lot of fun, So I share with some stories about that before, and then another friend of ours as a royalty from Germany. He was like a prince of Freiburg, Freiburg in Brisgau. Yeah, he's a fun guy, Yeah, so he's a prince from, because every German state has a prince. So Freiburg and Brisgau was like a major city in the Middle Ages. And his blue bloodline goes all the way back to Middle Ages. So he's the prince of Freiburg, so he has a title. And apparently all the German royal blood, they know each other. And they get together, party together and stuff like that. So they all know each other, which is kind of interesting, I mean, it's so different from life in America. But yeah. So yeah, so that was another guy that we hung out with. And then other guy was a royalty from Georgia, state of Georgia, former USSR Republic, Georgia. It's like, I don't know if it's near Ukraine. Hi, Marta Sidoriak. She's the general secretary of Georgetown Collaborative Diplomacy Initiative, and I'm the president of that. It's a School of Foreign Service diplomacy group. I'm the first non-law school of foreign service student to become president of a School of Foreign Service group. Yeah, I do amazing stuff. And, Marta is a first year student this year, and she became a general secretary. She's amazing. I mean, she's actually from my city, Philadelphia. Hi, Marta. She's like 100% Ukrainian. And I think she speaks to her parents in Ukrainian. She lived like 3 years in Ukraine. She's an amazing person. And she did her bachelor's from Temple University, and then spent 3 years at Ukraine, doing some important leadership stuff, and then came over to Law School of Foreign Service for Master of Science and Foreign Service degree. So she'll be second year next year. Yeah, she's an amazing person. But yeah, so wait, I lost my train of thought. This is terrible. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, Georgia. Yeah, now I got my train of thought back. Georgia is a country, I think, near Ukraine. Ukraine used to be a former USSR as well, right? Did I tell you about my Ukrainian girlfriend? I had a girlfriend who was 50% Russian, 50% Ukrainian. Maybe I'll talk about that another time. But anyway, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So and my friend from Georgia, he's like a royalty from Georgia. So he came over to Cambridge. He did a PhD in law. So he has a law degree from a university in Georgia, like Harvard of Georgia, the country, not the state, country of Georgia. And then he came over, did his PhD at Cambridge Law School. And then he became professor at Oxford University of Law School. So yeah, and yeah, so I mean, it's yeah, so we had a lot of interesting people. I was the only non-royalty in the circle, which is like weird. but I have my brain. So people worship me for my brain. So wherever I go, I have access to the elites. I mean, whichever country I go, I have access to the elites just because of my brain. you know, I guess intelligence is a commodity. I guess so because it opens the door everywhere I go, which is kind of I've never really thought about it, but like how did I get into that royalty club? Like that was like the royalty it circle at Jesus College. Like we have these everybody and like the royalty circle, and I was part of that. Jeez, and I come to think about it, it's kind of interesting how that happened. Yeah, but anyway, you can't get too serious about these things. I mean, if you get too serious about things in life, I mean, you can't enjoy it, right? And I like to enjoy my life. I'm, my Jewish friends in Israel used to call me bon vivant. I mean, the French Jewish friends, because I was really close with elite French Jews who came to Israel to study for 1 year and discover their heritage. And it was called the Ma'of program. And like most of them were like elite French, like they're like elites in French society, but they're Jewish. And there were like 40 of them. And I was like really popular with all of them. I don't know, I guess it's my brain that gets me in. I don't think it's my looks, because I'm overweight, and stuff, but I don't know, I seem to gain popularity somehow, and I don't understand that, but hey, I'm not going to complain. So I got in with the French crowd in Israel, and, like they used to call me bon vivant. You're a bon vivant, and I'm like, what? I know French, so I knew what it was, but bon vivant means you're living well. But they're like, you love life. You love life, so you're bon vivant. So all my French friends, well, they're French Jewish friends, they're all Jewish. And some of them made Aliyah, like my best friend in Israel, Serge Hornman. And you'll see his photo a little bit later. Yeah, so, you know, so they're like, bon vivant, and I actually dated one of the French Maof persons, the prettiest one. That's what I say. I mean, she was, yeah. Um, she had relatives in Petah Tikva in Israel, and she was beautiful. She's French, and I don't know how we start kind of seeing each other and meeting up and talking and meeting up. Yeah, and yeah. So Liat, uh, hi Liat, if you're watching. A lot of people watch this show around the world, even in Israel and in France. So maybe Liat is watching. Thanks for giving me so many great memories. She was really pretty, Liat. She was like taller than me. She was I think she was like 6 feet or so. And she was taller than me, I think. Yeah, she was taller than me without high heels. She had like really light complexion skin, milky skin, and blue eyes, blonde hair. The most beautiful one out of all 40 of them. But anyway, yeah, I mean, obviously, I would have converted her to Christianity if I mean, that was my plan. But yeah, but anyway, I don't really have time to talk about that right now. But yeah, but the advice is if you're a Christian, you should date a Christian. So I just want to make that clear. So I think that's important. As a principle, that's yeah. I guess in my young days, I might have been a little bit weak, but I did try to share the gospel with her, and I was hoping that she would convert. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah. So anyway, let's go back to our story. So yeah. So yeah. So why don't we just go to Israel? So Israel has 116,436 cases, and the total death are 245, which is less than 2%. So Israel's in the Middle East, and it seems like Middle East, except for Iran, has like around 1% dying or less, and maybe the State Department or I don't know, somebody, the task force should find out how these Middle East countries are keeping the, death rate so low, right? Anyway, yeah, it's time to bounce the ball a little bit, get in the mood for my introducing you to my Israeli friends. So especially because we have like all these Middle East countries with so few deaths. I mean, more people die from like walking and being hit by like a falling something from the sky. Especially in countries like Qatar, 12 people dead. I mean, that's like, geez. Yeah, so probably more people die of paper cut than 12 people per year. I mean. But anyway, yeah. So let's go. We're in a celebratory mood, and we're gonna go to. I'm gonna introduce you to my Israeli friends. Yay! It's time to celebrate. I want to say congratulations to Hoya class of 2020. Congratulations! Yeah! Hoya! Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, oh yeah, and Mindy and Mandy want to say hello. Mindy and Mandy. Actually, I just named them Mindy and Mandy, but I actually know Mindy and Mandy. I'm like, I wasn't thinking about that. Maybe it was like in my subconscious. Mandy is like the sister of the president of clinical nurse leader cohort for 2019, the cohort before us. She's an amazing person. She's now working in intensive care unit at a children's hospital, the president. But her sister is a twin. Can you get that? It's like twin, like Mandy and Mindy here. But it's like, um, so her sister is Mandy, and she graduated from University of Pennsylvania Law School. She's now working in a law firm in New York. But if she comes to Washington, D.C., I told her, I'm the vice president of University of Pennsylvania Alumni Association in Washington, D.C., where President Trump is a member. I told Mandy, like, if you ever come back to Washington, D.C., make sure you contact me and get involved with the University of Pennsylvania Alumni Association, Penn Club of D.C. And, we're kind of centered at Penn Biden Center, where presidential candidate Joe Biden was like an adjunct professor at University of Pennsylvania, which is ironic because Donald Trump is our alumni, but Joe Biden is an adjunct professor. And we have the Joe Biden Center in DC. I think it's called Biden Center for Diplomacy. Yeah. But anyway, we had a fun program on healthcare that was planned there for like March. And I invited my friend who's running for Maryland's 2nd District as a Republican candidate for US Congress. And she said, yeah, she was going to come and speak. She was the former head of Veterans Affairs, VA hospital, IT sector or something like that. And she now has her own IT health company. So she was one of the guests who was going to come. So I invited her and she said yes. So she was confirmed to come. And then, we had some cool people, executive board members. They own like a healthcare company, consulting company, and they in Vienna. I think she lives in Vienna. And she and her husband was gonna be a panelist as well. Hi Lisa. Yeah, if you're watching, hi Lisa. She's like she comes to. She's a part of the board member of Penn Club of DC. And I think her husband and she started the company. It's like a really big company. They do like IT consulting, and then we have former vice president of Penn Club DC, who's like CEO of Innova Health or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, a lot of the Penn people are overachievers. So their CEO here, CFO there, started their own company. I mean, it's typical of an Ivy League university. So, our board members are like really amazing. They like live in this area, like, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think Sunil is in the, I think, board of Fairfax County Public Schools. He's like some kind of committee. Yeah, he's like a CEO of Innova Health or Innova something. You know, Innova is such a big thing. And this hair thing is not easy. But anyway, yeah. Hey, Sunil. Hope you're safe. He's from India, so when I went over to Sunil's house in Fairfax County, oh, he lives in an amazing house. Oh my gosh, beautiful house. He's from, I think he's an immigrant from India. Um, he went to private school in Maryland. Grew up in Maryland, and then went to Penn, and then rose through the top and became an executive at Innova. Yeah, and when I visited him, his wife and his children were in India, and I teach in India. I think I shared with you a previous episode. I go there, often, and I teach students. I have I teach. I'm an adjunct professor in India, so I go there and sometimes I go like 3-4 times a year. Go there, teach like intensive module classes and fly back. These are like module classes, like you squeeze in like one semester in like a few weeks or a couple of weeks or even a week. You do intensive like all day long modules. Yeah, so my students are like leaders all over India in all different parts of India. Kerala, Karnataka, Gujarat, in Nagaland, all over, just like everywhere. So they're, yeah. So hi, my students, if you're watching the show in India, because, people watch this show from all over the world, in India as well, But anyway, so, yeah. So, going back to Israel, yeah, let me introduce you to my friends. So look at the center photo. Yeah, that's me. I have that tan from Bat Yam because I shared with you. That's Serge Gourmand's apartment. That his parents own in Bat Yam, right by the coastline. You see the Israeli flag there. So it's like one of those buildings, so in Bat Yam, which is a city in Tel Aviv. I mean, I could walk from Bat Yam to Yaffo and then to Tel Aviv. So Serge and I, we sometimes, after we go, after we went to like a discotheque on Friday night, after Shabbat dinner, because we had like Serge Gourmand's Shabbat, like his neighbors in Bat Yam invite us for Shabbat dinner. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, today's Friday. Shabbat Shalom. So, after Shabbat dinner, and, his building is generally mostly Sephardic Jews. Sephardic Jews are Jews who are from like Arabic countries. So Serge is French, but I think his father is originally a Moroccan Jew. There are a lot of Jews in Morocco, and Morocco has a special relationship with France. There are Algerian Jews, Tunisian Jews. So those were the most concentrated Jews in Bat Yam, mostly French-speaking, Arabic and French-speaking. Like, former French colonies in Africa, North Africa, like Algeria and, Morocco, Tunisia. So the food was like mostly like kind of French, because, yeah, but some Arabic food as well. Yeah, so it was kind of interesting. So that's Serge Gourmand's apartment in Bat Yam. It was like a nice 2-bedroom apartment. And Serge Gourmand's mother, father, sister, you see the sister? Serge Gourmand's whole family is beautiful. You see his sister, she looks like a model, right? Very beautiful. So she's in that black kind of a shirt there next to her mom and dad. Her mother is beautiful. She's a dentist. The father is a businessman. Father's name is Leo Gourmand. Yeah, so, and I just call Serge Gourmand's mother Mrs. Gourmand. So, what's her first name? Colette. And her maiden name is Goxlin, I think. Goxlin. Colette Goxlin. But, she's Colette Goxlin Gourmand. Whatever, She's amazing. She's a dentist, and father is a businessman. They have this really nice house in suburb of France. You know, where is that city where the castle is? Uh, you know, the French castle. It's like they live like right by there. I visited them in France. You know, and yeah, it's fun. You know, I mean, Serge Gorman, you know, who's at the left in the family photo there. It's my best friend, and Philippe is not there. Philippe Gorman. Philippe is like he's like his father. He's like really good at business. You know, he's like making business deals here and there. You know, even at that time. Yeah, Philippe Gorman. And so the Serge is the oldest, then Philippe, and then Sabrine. I think it's Sabrine. I mean, it's like Sabrina, but I think in French you spell it with just an E, Sabrine. Sabrine. Anyways, Sabrine. So yeah, yeah, the whole family is like attractive. They all look like models, you know, which is kind of funny. So they have a home in Bat Yam, and they have a home in Switzerland, French Alps. So they spend like a week or a couple of weeks in the summer in Bat Yam, and then they spend like a week or a couple of weeks in their place in French Alps. Yeah, so I mean, and so Serge Gorman was there with the Ma'of program for 1 year, and I mean, he used to come like once a year for a week or so to Bat Yam during summer with his parents, but it's the first time he spent 1 year in Israel, and he decided to immigrate to Israel. So they call that aliyah. Making aliyah means that literally means you're ascending. Aliyah, you're going up, because there's this concept in the Jewish tradition that when you move to Israel, you're kind of moving up. So those people who move out of Israel, they're moving down. So they call it Yarida. So if you see like Israelis who move to Washington, D.C. area, I mean, there are more Israelis in New York. I used to run into them all the time in New York, but I haven't really run into any Israelis in D.C. I don't know. I guess New York and California and Florida, that's where a lot of Israelis are. But yeah, so if they move to America from Israel, it's called Yarida. It means that, you're going down. So a lot of Israelis found on that, like it's supposed to be like an embarrassing thing to like move from Israel to like the diaspora, so even if they're not religious, they kind of look down on Israelis who moved out of Israel. Like Natalie Portman, she's Israeli. Like I think her family is like Israeli who moved out of Israel to England. Natalie Portman, the movie actress. Yeah, so they frown on that in Israel. They kind of look down on people who move out of Israel. But it's like it's a national thing, because but anyway, yeah. So yeah, so you get some cultural lesson from me here. But Serge Gorman's family is just amazing, yeah, whoever, yeah, anyway, yeah, so underneath Serge Gorman's family's photo, you have Yuval Ben Basat. That's me, Serge, and Yuval were like three musketeers in Bat Yam. So Yuval Ben Basat, family, his parents immigrated from Bulgaria. Bulgaria, I don't know if you know Bulgaria. Bulgaria is like Eastern Europe. So it used to be part of Soviet Union, I guess. Or was it? My specialty isn't like Soviet Union history. I gotta ask, Corey Vell. That's his specialty. Corey Vell, who's like director at George Washington University Russian Institute. Who was in Israel as part of the Raoul Wallenberg Fellowship Scholarship Program where I was. He's at that time he just graduated from Stanford University, and it was before he started his PhD at MIT on Russian studies. And so it was like that 1 year where he won this Raoul Wallenberg scholarship, which was a national competition. It was hard to get. I won. I'm amazing. What can I say? And Corey Veld is amazing too. But all 10 of us, 10 people were selected in a nationwide competition. And can you imagine how many Jewish Americans applied? Because it was like an elite program. It was advertised in every Jewish studies program and Jewish centers in every university in America. So you can imagine how many people applied. So 10 people got accepted. And there were, I think I wasn't Jewish. I'm still not Jewish. And then Walid Shamoun, he is like a relative of the president of Lebanon. So he's not Jewish, obviously he's Arabic. He's Maronite Christian from Lebanon. Maronite, so he's kind of like, he's not exactly Catholic, but I think he's part of the Catholic tradition. I think it is, yeah, I think it was part of the Catholic tradition. So he's from the famous Shamoun family, Shamoun, and some of the family immigrated to Paris, and some of them immigrated to Massachusetts. Shamoun family is a famous Lebanon family, a Lebanese Christian family. So he was one of the non-Jewish members of the Raoul Wallenberg Scholars Program. Another one is Nami Ando from Japan. Nami, she just graduated from Swarthmore. She was like a top student from Swarthmore. I think her father's like a big banker in Japan. So she was, she's Japanese. I think she was Buddhist, or maybe like she was Shinto. I'm not sure exactly what her religion was. I didn't ask her, but yeah, she was like a top student for Swarthmore, and yeah. So three of us were non-Jewish. I think everyone else was Jewish. No. John Bartlett wasn't Jewish. John Bartlett was editor-in-chief of Brown Daily Herald. So he just graduated from Brown University. And he's an amazing guy. He was editor-in-chief of Brown Daily Herald. And then he came to Hebrew University because he was selected as Raoul Wallenberg Scholar. And then he was accepted at Harvard Law School, so he went to Harvard Law School right after that. And then he married my friend Kiati Joshi from Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, well, she's from Smyrna, which is like a suburb of Georgia. And I actually went to their wedding, Kiati Joshi and John Bartlett's wedding in Smyrna, Georgia. And Kiati's sister is really pretty too. Kiati's pretty. And Kiati just graduated from Emory University with a religion degree. She studied religion at Emory, and then she came to Israel. She wasn't part of the Raoul Wallenberg Scholar. She was just kind of studying in Israel because she studied religion at Emory, and I guess she wanted to study Judaism. And then she went and did her PhD at Boston University. And now she's a professor in Bergen County. What's that university in Bergen County? Is it? I think it starts with F. Yeah, she's a professor of religion. No, she may not be professor of religion. I think she may be professor of education at the university. What's that university in Bergen County? Oh, I can't remember. But Kiati met John Bartlett at the year that John Bartlett and I were Raoul Wallenberg Scholars, and Kiati and I were close. John Bartlett didn't even know Kiati at first, really, not really. And then they, we start hanging out together, and then and then they hooked up there, and then they got married, and then John Bartlett studied law school at Harvard, and Kiati started her. I guess a PhD program at Boston U, and they were there for 3 years. It was nice meeting up with them there at Harvard Law School and meeting some of their friends at Harvard Law. It's a big law school. And now, John Bartlett, he's actually from Pennsylvania, Hershey, Pennsylvania. His father and mother are Stanford alumni, and his father was a renowned cardiac surgeon in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I think like a lot of John Bartlett's family are in healthcare, especially like cardiac specialization around the country. I think John Bartlett goes all the way back to Mayflower. I'm not sure. He's like Episcopalian. He was telling me about his church life. I went to Episcopalian church and youth group. And he had this Episcopalian cross that he brought with him to Israel and hung in his room, kind of he offended his roommate. Kind of a tiff, But anyway, yeah. So John married Chiati, and then now John Bartlett is a freeholder in Passaic County. So he's one of the, I don't know how many freeholders they have, like 6. And he ran for U.S. Congress for Democratic primaries. I told you most of my friends are Democrats. Democratic primaries for Passaic County in 2016. I remember correctly, or 2018. I actually met his friend. I was invited to participate in National Leadership Academy of Apex. Apex is this big Asian advocacy group or lobby group. It may be the biggest one. It's in Washington, D.C. And APEX stands for Asian Pacific American Institute for Congressional Studies. So I went to their annual dinner last year, and all the U.S. congressmen and women who were have Asian descent were there. So Kamala Harris was there because she's part Indian, and Bobby from New Jersey, near I think he's a U.S. congressman. He has like part Asian. He's African American, but he's part Asian. So he was there, and oh yeah, Duckworth. I think she's a senator, right? Senator Duckworth was there too. She's like Asian, Army veteran, I believe, from Illinois. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I was invited to be one of the elite 2019 National Leadership Academy invitee, members. And so all the people who want to run for elected office had some interest in that, or were social leaders. They came, and so I went there, and there were everybody from all over the world or all over the country were invited, and many of them are now running for office for U.S. Congress. Throughout, like a lot of them in California, but not just in California. And there was one guy who came from New Jersey, Adil, and he's like, yeah, I know John Bartlett. And so, like we had a mutual friend. He's running for U.S. Congress in which county is that? I think in Passaic County, primaries. Anyway, yeah. So we are fellow members of the National Leadership Academy, and yeah, anyway, I'm hoping to win. It's apartisan, although a lot of them are Democrats that I met, but it's technically apartisan. So Republican, Democrats, they're all like, whoever is Asian, they try to help like win the U.S. Congress seats. But anyway, yeah. So so I was due to go to their big banquet in May, tickets and everything, but because COVID, it's pushed off till like September or October. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So John Bartlett was one of them, and I think he wants to be president. There were a few people who wanted to be president of the United States who were there. They're all like Democrats. I think I was the only Republican there. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, some interesting people. They're all playing like really important leadership roles wherever they are. And I think John Bartlett has like a law firm in Passaic County area. So yeah, he's pretty, pretty interesting guy, smart guy. I mean, to be an editor-in-chief of Brown Daily Herald, it's not that easy, to be an editor-in-chief of an Ivy League run newspaper. And he wrote a book and published a book when he was an undergraduate at Brown. It's called The World Is Ours. So check it out. I mean, you could probably find a copy, yeah, it's an interesting book. Brown. I mean, John is an interesting guy. I gotta make time to like visit all my, friends from Israel. When I become U.S. Congressman, I'm gonna like invite all of them like for a banquet. Maybe like my inauguration like ball. I'll just invite everybody. Have my staffers invite. So maybe I should hire like somebody that was there in Israel at the time that I was there. Anyway, yeah. So, hi John. Hi Kiati. Yeah, John and Kathy, they go to an Episcopalian church in New Jersey. It's a nice church. It's like really cozy church. Nice Episcopalian church. But anyway, yeah. Anyhow, just going back to Yuval Ben Basad, he's from Bulgaria. His family, his father is from Bulgaria, and he's an art dealer now. So he's kind of tapping into the old country, Bulgaria. Well, he lives in Batyan, but he's not. He's actually Ashkenazi. Yeah. So, but he lived in a different part of Batyan. I think more Ashkenazi part of Batyan, like the more inland. Like we live in the beach area, and like everybody we saw like Sephardic, you know, like dark skin, like from Morocco, Algeria, or Tunisia, or France, you know. Yeah. So anyway, what the Israelis call shakshakim. Shakshakim. It's like Night at the Roxbury. You gotta see that movie. It's kind of funny with all the gold chains and like disco music cars. I mean, every weekend, you hear disco music car after disco music car passing by in the street, And I guess that's why Ashkenazis did not want to live there because, like, I mean, the whole weekend is kind of like, you know, night at Roxbury, like rock and roll music cars, flashing, driving by. I liked it. Serge liked it. So we had no problem, And oh, you know how we met Yuval Ben Basad? Oh, I should tell you the story. We didn't, Serge and I, we were like best friends from Israel. And, we were flatmates, right? And I told you about that in the previous show. And Serge and I, we just, his parents owned this 2-bedroom apartment in Bat Yam, right? Like, and it's like empty. So I'm like, every weekend we went there, like as soon as our class was over on Thursday, because their weekend starts on Thursday and the first day of school is like Sunday. Is it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. So Sunday is the first day of school because like our Christian holiday is Sunday, right? That's when we go to church. Jewish holiday is Saturday, right? That's when they go to synagogue. So their work week begins the next day after the synagogue day, which is like Sunday, whereas our work day begins on Monday. So our weekend starts on Friday after work. In Israel, their weekend starts on Thursday after work. So let's get timeline straight. So timeline is based on a religious holiday, right? Like in Christian countries, the religious holiday is Sunday because you go to church that day. So work week starts the day after that. In Israel, because they're a Jewish nation, they go to their synagogue, religious place on Saturday. So their work day starts the day after that, Sunday. So Thursday after our last class, Serge and I, we come, we get our swimming trunks because, it's like over 80 degrees all year round. Swimming trunks and our kind of like, formal, kind of semi-formal wear for the Shabbat dinner on Fridays because we always get like invited to Shabbat dinners by Serge's neighborhood. Great food. I love challah bread. Have you had challah bread? Oh, it's so good. Challah bread is like part of the Shabbat dinner, but oh, it's such a good bread. It's like so soft and it's so yummy and tasty. So I love to just like get challah bread and eat it. But challah bread in America doesn't taste that well. I mean, like the challah bread I remember is in Israel, and people used to make it like from scratch, and these amazing people made it. Maybe it's because it's the Jewish nation. So they have the like best people. Like you won't be able to sell any challah bread in Israel if you're not good because everybody's Jewish. So only the best challah bread makers survive. So maybe that's why. But like all the challah bread I had in America, they're really bad. I mean, compared to Israel, it's like it doesn't even compare. But so yeah. So Serge and I on Thursday, as soon as both our classes over, we'll like take our Egged bus, which is like a Israeli bus, Egged bus, from Mount Scopus to the bus station, and then from bus station, it's like a 50-minute, 1-hour ride direct to like did we go to Bat Yam or Tel Aviv? I think we went to Tel Aviv, and then we took a bus to Bat Yam. Yeah, so that's what we did. So we took an Agate bus from Mount Scopus at Edelson Dormitory, where we were, Hebrew University of Jerusalem Dormitory on Mount Scopus, and then went to Town Center, took the Agate bus from the bus station to Tel Aviv bus station, which is like a direct ride. Well, I think it stopped a couple times on the way. And then we took a bus from the Tel Aviv bus station to Bat Yam, and then we were at his apartment. So it's like a couple-hour journey. And then, yeah, so Thursday, you know, we arrive at his home, and Shabbat dinner is Friday. So that means like we have to eat somewhere because we can't really cook. As I shared with you, the cook in our flat was Simon Yule, was a Scottish guy. He's an artist. He ended up dating our friend Natalie Noble. Noble, like her father is like a famous doctor in France, in Brittany, like north of France, and she's like supposed to be one of the most famous doctors in France, Natalie Noble. So I guess Dr. Lopel, Lopel, and he used to collect rare art, like rare French art. And it was, I mean, I think they were extremely wealthy, like, you know, but all her friends were like all really wealthy. I mean, like, did I tell you, like, one of her friends is Brafman. Yeah. I mean, you know, like, you know, the Brafman, it's like, Edelson Dormitory is also called Brafman Dormitory. Brafman, you know, you may not know Brafman, but Brafman is the Jewish, famous Jewish guy from, I think it's from Canada. The famous one that you may know is from Canada, and they own Seagram's. You know Seagram's. Do they have beer? Seagram's. I don't. You know Seagram's. I think they have like different alcoholic drinks, right? I'm not a big alcohol person, but I think Seagram's. Yeah, so Seagram's or something like that. It's so the Brafman family, the billionaire Jewish family from Canada, I think. And I think they have French Jews, like their family's like Canadian French, I think. So yeah, anyway, yeah, so not only she had like some amazing friends, and her father used to collect rare art. And she married Raphael Lastman, Lastmann. I think it's double N. Raphael Lastman. And like Natalie Lobo is like short. She's like, I think shorter than 5 foot. Like she's like really short. And Raphael Lastman is like really tall. I think he's like 6'2". So they stand together. There's like a big gap, but they look good together. They're a cute couple. But anyway, Natalie went to this business school in Lyon. She said it was like number 3rd or number 2 business school in France. I think she said she was number 2 business school. It is, I forgot the name of the school, but anyway, it's like in Lyon. It's like the 2nd best business school in France, and everybody in France knows it. She said, I don't know. So yeah, I thought University of Paris, the Sorbonne was the best, and she's like, no, not really. So I guess that you know, I learned a lot about France, you know, from all my French friends from my off program, 40 of them. I mean, they're all like really interesting and stuff. Really, you know, fun. Yeah, got to practice my French a lot. Oui, je parle français. Anyway, yeah. So in the beginning, I had to speak to Serge all in French because he didn't know English. And he was beginning to learn Hebrew. And I was beginning to learn Hebrew, so we couldn't really speak in Hebrew. And I knew French because I had 2 years of it at the University of Pennsylvania. So yeah, thank God I took 2 years of French in Pennsylvania, University of Pennsylvania. I mean, you know, so I got to speak with Serge, and we became best buddies. I mean, had I not taken 2 years of French at University of Pennsylvania, I probably would not have been able to become best friends with Serge because he couldn't speak English at all. I mean, he spoke a little bit English, but not, you know, really, you know, he struggled through it. And, you know, after a year, he was pretty good because we we start speaking English and French, and because I had 2 years of French, and so sometimes we had to like use the dictionary and to communicate. But my French was good enough to communicate. So what I call like social French. He taught me all these terms. Like drague. It's like it's like a colloquial term. Like baiser. He's like, but yeah, he taught me like several French terms. Anyway, yeah, but anyway, yeah. So going back to Ivar Ben Basar, his father immigrated from Bulgaria. I think when did he immigrate? He must have been before the fall of the communism because Ivar was born in Israel. But anyway, so he used to do this, art trade. So he would bring art from Bulgaria and sell it to Israelis. And oh yeah, you know where we met Yuval? Oh, okay. So Serge and I, after we arrived from Jerusalem in Bat Yam, we put all our stuff down, and Shabbat dinner is on Friday, and we can't cook, so we have to eat outside, right? So we used to go and check out restaurants, different, either Tel Aviv or Bat Yam. And generally what we did is, the French people eat dinner really late. It's not like Americans. We eat dinner at like 5 p.m., right? Or 6 p.m. The French, they eat dinner like at 7 or 8 p.m. Like really late. So, we go and generally we take a nap because it's like nice and warm. So, he'll take a nap there in his room, and I'll take a nap in my room, like on a 30-minute nap or something. And then we like freshen up, and then we have our clothing that we brought for the occasions. We'll dress kind of semi-dressed up. We're both single guys, right? And Serge, wanted to find an Israeli girl to marry. So I was happy to help him. I'm his best buddy. What are best buddies for, right? So we'll go and we'll check out a restaurant, and then after the restaurant, we'd go to like a discotheque. Because both of us like kind of, well, I like to dance and he liked to dance, so it's good exercise. You burn off a lot of calories, especially eating like all that food. Generally we love meat, so we had like meat, and then we love dessert, so we had like really, nice dessert. And then we like hit like, so we tried to go to the best discotheques along the coast, like in Tel Aviv, Bat Yam, Yafo, Rishon LeZion. You just all over, visit different cities. Went to restaurant, and we went to discotheques and exercise. Now I tried to help Serge Goldman find his wife, because he's graduate from French educational place. So he had Doug, which was after 2 years, and then licence, which was after 1 year after Doug. Doug is like a college degree, but it's like a 2-year degree, and then licence is like 1 year after that, and then he had maîtrise, so which was 1 year after licence. So he spent 4 years in the university in France, but he had 3 degrees. He had le Doug, licence, and maîtrise. So, he's immigrated to Israel, and he's trying to settle down in Israel, find a nice Israeli girl. He's immigrated in Israel, and settle down, raise his family, right? That was his plan. But the guy looked like a model, but he was shy, And I'm like, I'm going to help you because I'm sure Israeli women will like you, but you just, you're shy, so you can't really approach Israeli women. So I'll approach them and kind of play the matchmaker. Matchmaker, make me a match. So yeah. So have you seen Fiddler on the Roof? Yeah, you should see it. Yeah, you could. I don't know if you could download it and see it from Netflix. I didn't really see it on Netflix, but Fiddler on the Roof is like a musical, and I think it was made into a movie. and it's about a life of Jewish life, and I think in Eastern Europe, and they have like matchmaker who makes the matches. And so I guess it's more like where Yuval Ben Bassan is from, like Bulgaria, kind of Eastern European country. Serge is from France, and his father's from Morocco, or he's originally from Morocco. He's a Moroccan Jew, Sephardic Jew. Um, his mother is a Sephardic Jew as well. I think she may be from, I think she, yeah, I don't know what she's, I know she's French. Obviously, they're all French, but they originated from the Jewish community in, well, the father from Morocco. His mother might have been from Tunisia. I'm not sure. Yeah, I know his father is from Morocco, but maybe it's Algeria, the mother. But anyway, yeah, but it was like a long time ago. They immigrated to France a long time ago. Their families. So they're well established in France. So like if you're in Paris and you're like an Jewish person, you would know the Goxlins and the Gourmands. They're like all among the elite Jewish, powerful and the wealthy people of the French Jewish, the creme de la creme Jewish population in France, in Paris. But anyway, yeah. So I'm like the matchmaker, like matchmaker, make me a match, So I'm trying to make a match for sale. So I say, yeah, I'll take the bullet, try to help him, every week. So one weekend, Serge and I, we went to a restaurant, and then we went to the best discotheque in that city. And I think it was, what city was it? It was, it might have been Holon. I think it was Holon. It's like a city south of Bat Yam. And as I said, we try to check out the best discotheques in every city in Tel Aviv area. Like there are a lot of cities in the area, so we tried to hit the best discotheques in every city. So we were in Holon, and yeah, and then no, this wasn't in Holon. Wait a minute. No, this wasn't in Holon. I think now it's been a while since I'm trying to remember where we first met, and I think we actually met in Eilat. Yes, yes. So Serge Gorman and I, we generally go to the weekends at to Bat Yam, and so generally that's what we do. But like during Jewish holidays, Serge just wasn't really. He was secular. He wasn't religious. He liked the Shabbat dinners because of the food, free food, which was really good. He's like, damn, they're almost as good as my mother, He missed his mother, I mean, he loved his mom, but I don't know. He might have loved his mother's food more. Nah, sorry, Serge. I'm sorry, Serge. I'm sure you love your mom far more than her food. But her mom is, his mom is amazing, But anyway, so he's not a religious Jew, Serge. He describes himself as a secular Jew, but most Sephardic Jews, have Shabbat dinners. They try to keep the traditions, whether you're religious or secular. So that's part of the Sephardic Jewish identity, which is different from Ashkenazi. Ashkenazi Jews, which are like European Jews, they kind of became very secular with the movements in Germany, and like, well, no. Ashkenazi Jews from Eastern Bloc were religious, like Polish Jews and Russian Jews were religious, but like there were Ashkenazi Jews in like Germany who became very liberal. So you have like two schools within the Ashkenazi Jews, in 1800s, the really ultra religious in the Eastern Bloc, like in Poland and Russia, and then secular Jews in Germany, because Reform Judaism started in Germany. You know how we have Reform Judaism. Some of you, my fans who are watching this show, may be a part of a Reform Judaism synagogue. So the leading seminary for Reform Judaism is Hebrew Union College in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yes, there are Jews in Ohio, in Cincinnati. That's actually the center of Reform Judaism. So you can imagine, like, they're very secularized, and there's a Hebrew Union College in Los Angeles, but the main one is in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is the center of Reform Judaism. That's where you go to be trained as a rabbi for Reform Judaism, Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, and they look like Aryans. I'm serious. They're blue eyes, blonde hair, like every single one of them. And that I met at Hebrew Union College. Because I, I'm an expert of Jewish studies, so I go to like Jewish places a lot, and one of the places I go is like Hebrew Union College, and they're like blonde hair, blue eyes, like they look Aryan to me. I'm like, you sure you're not the Aryan race? No, I don't say that. Obviously, but I'm thinking it, because they look. They look like Aryans, blonde hair, blue eyes, like snow white skin. But anyway, yeah. So Hebrew Union College is Reform Judaism seminary in America. So see how all the lesson you're getting in Judaism and Jewish history from me. I mean, this is why you should see my show, because you get like a lot of interesting stuff that you learn, right? Obviously, I've spent decades studying all this as to be an expert of Judaism. I mean, not everybody gets to be a visiting research fellow at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, right? Not everybody gets selected to be Raoul Wallenberg Scholar, one of the 10. And that was actually a program for human rights and democracy. It's called Raoul Wallenberg Scholar for Human Rights and Democracy. That's why Corey Bell, who's a political scientist, was there. John Bartlett, who went to go to Harvard Law School, was there. And Hillary Coyne, and she's like an adjunct professor at Georgetown Law School, was there. When she just had graduated from Harvard. And yeah. But anyway, that's why there were all these, like, I was the only expert of Judaism in the program, Raoul Wallenberg, because the program itself was called Raoul Wallenberg Scholar for Human Rights and Democracy. So it's more like Wall School of Foreign Service, where, it makes sense. I mean, Corey Velt was a associate dean or assistant dean of the Russia Institute at Georgetown University in the Wall School of Foreign Service before being recruited by George Washington University. So so it's like Wall School of Foreign Service people, like Foreign Service, MSFS type of people, Well, actually, there were like a lot of lawyers, because John Barlow went to Harvard Law, Hillary Coyne went to Georgetown Law Center, Jared Genzer went to Cornell Law School. Yeah, we had a lot of lawyers come out of that. So, but anyway, yeah. So, yeah. So, now I remember. I think I'm remembering correctly. So you're helping me jog my memory, and sharing my experience and memory lane. I mean, this is like a vicarious experience. I mean, hey, this is like a special experience. You're helping me to recollect, and then you're collecting with me. And so, yeah. So Serge and I generally went to Bat Yam every weekend during school year, when school was in session, but during vacation time, we're stuck in Israel, right? And these religious holidays, like, there are a lot of religious holidays. Serge is not religious. He's not really gonna observe them, right? His whole family is kind of secular. They're secular Jewish. I mean, they keep traditions, but they're not. They're more like Reform Jews. I mean, they belong to a synagogue in Paris, like a synagogue. I mean, their system is a little different in Paris, in France. I don't think they belong to a Reform synagogue. I don't even know they have Reform synagogues in France, but they belong to like a synagogue. But they, they kept the holidays and stuff. But Serge wasn't at home, and he personally wasn't really self-identified as secular. So during Jewish religious holidays, he's like, he wanted to go somewhere to party, or somewhere to have fun. And I'm not Jewish, so I had no problem. So yeah, so during one holiday, like week, Serge and I decided to go to Eilat, which is like a resort area in the south of Israel. It's wonderful. You should go to Eilat. I mean, if you go to Israel, try to have like extra days and spend some time in Eilat. It's fun. So we went to Eilat, which is basically by the Red Sea. So if you go to Eilat, it's right by the Taba border, which is the border to Egypt. So you could actually, with your American passport, cross over without a visa, and then you could, it's like Sinai Desert. you know, where Moses was, right? And the Israelites were wandering for 40 years. And then you could take camel rides, eat Egyptian food, and yeah, you could do a lot of fun stuff there. So, and Peter Gabriel concert that I went with Serge Gordon on, I think I told you about it. You know, the Shock the Monkey episode with Cesar, you know, Planet of the Apes movie. You know, there's Cesar, the newer series. Yeah, so and I talked about that. You know, just go, you know, watch the previous episodes. So you know, we went and saw Peter Gabriel concert, and that was like by the beach in like Taba Beach. Was it on the Egyptian side or the Israeli side? I don't remember. I think it was on the Israeli side, but it's the same kind of beach, like right by the border. They had the concert there, and you know, Peter Gabriel said, you know, sang like "Shock the Monkey," "Hammer," you know, and stuff like that. All the Israelis were there, just kind of, you know, having fun, and then because it's the Red Sea, they have a lot of great snorkeling and scuba diving. You know, I can't scuba dive, but I can snorkel, and it's wonderful. The marine life. So if you love fish, Mindy and Mandy. Oh, I forgot to remind you that, you know, so Mandy is the sister of the president of CNL 2019 cohort. She's an amazing person. You know, she's an amazing person. She did her bachelor's at University of Maryland. Both of them did their bachelor's at University of Maryland, College Park. And then um, uh, Mandy went to University of Pennsylvania Law School, graduated in 2019 with a JD and master's in another degree. She's like beautiful and like really and like academic too. And she's in a law firm in New York. And her sister, the president, um, is now working at NICU, intensive unit in Children's National Hospital. And so that's Mandy. And I wasn't thinking about it when I named the two fish. I thought Mindy and Mandy sounds good, but maybe it was in my subconscious. And then Mindy, do I know Mindy? Maybe. Yeah, anyway, let me recall, go down memory lane on that path another time. But anyway, yes, if you like fish, exotic fish, then Great Barrier Reef in Australia is supposed to be a great place to see that. And Red Sea is another great place to see. And a lot of Scandinavia used to fly over from Oslo, Copenhagen, you know, just direct flights through winter. But anyway, so during this vacation that Serge Gordman and I were in Eilat, and you take a bus. You know, we took a bus from Jerusalem to Eilat. It's like a 4-hour bus ride. The country is not that big, so you can everywhere within like half a day. if you have a rental car, you could probably go from top of the Israel to bottom of Israel in less than a day. But anyway, we took a bus and from Jerusalem to Eilat, and there was this pub. It's called Yacht Pub in Eilat. Yacht Pub. It was just by like corner of the water. Uh, really nice place. So we had dinner there, and we both love meat. So we had like meat, like shish kebab type thing. And then they had like a live band because it was like holiday. There are a lot of Israelis who are secular. So 50% of Israelis are secular. They're like, they don't keep any holiday. They pork like even on Yom Kippur. I kid you not. I've seen Israelis eat pork on Yom Kippur day. They were like these secular Israelis don't fast on Yom Kippur in Israel. They party it up. Because they're secular, they're completely secular. So 50% of Israel is like secular, 50% is like religious. It's not like America, you know, where people, even like secular Reform Jews, like they observe Yom Kippur. It's not like that in Israel. Secular Jews, they eat pork, they party it up on Yom Kippur. They don't do anything like out of, you know, they go on vacations and trips, and you know, they party. But anyway, So like at yacht club, there were a lot of people there. It was like a religious Jewish holiday season, and all the secular Israelis migrated to Eilat. And Serge Gorman and we had this nice dinner, and then they were playing. They had a live band, and they're really good. They're really good band, and they were singing a lot of like classic rock songs, and they're really good. And so like they start performing, and people are just drinking or eating, and then they had this dance area, and there were like two really pretty girls dancing there. And Selch, he wants to meet an Israeli girl and get married, right? And I'm like the matchmaker, make me a match, So I'm trying to help Selch out. He's my best buddy. I want him to get married, have like many beautiful Jewish Israeli children, Sabras, I guess they call it, because like Selch is now like an Israeli, They gave him citizenship when he landed in the airport under law of return. So there's this law called law of return where any Jew from anywhere in the world who's at least 1/4 Jewish, I think it's 1/4 Jewish, like one of your grandparents is Jewish, and you could prove that by like synagogue documentation, you're granted citizen automatically under the law of return. I think that's the law. And so Selch is like 100% Jewish, right? His father's Jewish, mother's Jewish, both of his grandparents are Jewish. Although interestingly enough, his uncle is now a Presbyterian clergyman in Australia. You know how I know? I visited Selch's family in Marseille. Marseille is where they live. That's where the castle was. The French, Marseille castle, oh, beautiful castle. If you go to France, you have to visit Marseille castle. The porcelain, oh my gosh. Oh, they ate out of that thing, oh my gosh. Yeah, you have to go to Marseille. Ah, the beautiful castle, French castle. Yeah, anyway, Marseille, and yeah, so oh my gosh. Oh, anyway, so let's go back to Elon. This is like, the day that you took like a hard exam, it's like, I mean, it's a celebration, Typically our cohort will be like there's this place called the church in Georgetown. That's where like generally we go, like cohort 2020, we go to, it's not a church, but it's called the church. And it's like you could have food and you could drink. And it's like a social place. Some people play those, like puzzle games or, not puzzle games, but, they have like those quiz games, competitions and stuff like that. I'm not really that much into those, but anyway, we generally go there and just kind of unwind after like our last exam. So that would have been right now. I would have been there with my cohort, CNL 2020 cohort, unwinding at the church in Georgetown. But yeah, because of COVID, that's not happening. But anyway, yeah. So everybody is like celebrating in their own, kind of social distancing COVID celebration. Yeah. Hey, my cohort members who are watching this show, congratulations on finishing the last final exam of this semester. Yeah. Anyway, yay, celebrate good times. Come on, celebrate good times. That's for you, CNL 2020 cohort members. I love you guys. So yeah, so right now, going back to Eilat, going back to my story. So I'm the matchmaker, make me a match guy. And so like there are two beautiful women, and Serge wants to meet them, but he's French and he's kind of shy. He's kind of looking at them, but he's not gonna tell me. He has that French pride. So he's just kind of looking at them. And he's not even like looking at me because that would be giving too much, French people are like very subtle, Um, So he's just kind of looking at them and pretending like he's not really looking at them. So I'm like, I better just introduce this guy, right? And so, I'm the social one. I told you like at Georgetown University Grad Gov, I'm the vice president for graduate student government at Georgetown University, 9,000 graduate students from all schools, all master's, doctoral programs. And I'm the party guy, so I'm the fun guy. So I socialize and I try to ensure everybody's having fun, and so I'm gonna just take the bullet, go up there. Yeah, there are two beautiful women dancing right there by the dance floor with no one around. I'm gonna walk that long distance, empty distance from where we're sitting all the way to where those two girls are dancing, the beautiful girls are dancing. And then I'm gonna start a conversation. I'm gonna introduce Selch. Yes. You see how far I go to help my friends? This is why my friends love me. They're loyal to me because, I sacrifice myself. So I go up. I go all the way up. And I'm walking up there, trying to look cool, kind of waving to the music, kind of having a, beach ball bouncing spirit. Harry's staring at me. I don't think Harry approves. He's like staring at me. But yeah. So do you remember, that part where in Breakfast at Tiffany's, who's that girl? Audrey Hepburn. I forget the name of her character. She had a cat named Cat. And Audrey Hepburn turns to what's that? That guy, the writer, author, um, George somebody, and says, "I don't drink with men who don't approve of me." Is that what she said? I can't remember the exact line. I mean, Harry's a guy, so I should use a girl. Yeah. Here is Amy. I don't approve. No, I don't drink with men who don't approve of me. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, and I was just referring to Harry, who doesn't seem to be approving. But Harry's a guy, so I'm using Amy. But Amy doesn't seem to have any problem. Yeah. But anyway, so I walk up there. I walk up there with the mission. It's not mission impossible, because nothing is impossible in my opinion. So with a mission possible, walking up there to matchmaker, make me a match. So I am trying to match Serge Gorman. So I go up there and I start talking to the ladies, and then yeah. So we talk, and then I kind of wave Serge over. Serge comes over, and so I introduced them to the two ladies. One was like an Israeli, really tough Sabra. She's like tough on the outside. So they call Israeli Sabras, meaning Sabra is a fruit. It's like a tough on the outside, but it's like really juicy and soft on the inside. So Israelis are kind of called Sabras because they all act really tough outside because it's a military culture, right? Boys and girls have to all go to military at age 18. Boys for 3 years, girls for 2 years. So they're toughened up, right? Every Israeli girl that I met spent 2 years in the military, know how to fire an M16, kill men in 1,000 different ways. No, I don't know about 1,000 different ways, but yeah, they learn all the techniques, they were in the military, So, like one of the girls was like a Sabra, like Israeli born and like really tough. She had, I get things, I guess Serge like that, so he liked her, she's like really tough looking and like, don't talk to me, unless you have something to offer. I'm just gonna slit your throat. She had that kind of military, like not military, but like that kind of tough look, if looks can kill kind of look. And so Serge liked her, I could see. So I'm like, hey, and then, her friend was Ilana. She was a girl from Russia, and she immigrated to Israel with her parents. I think in operation, one of the operations, they had several operations bringing Russian Jews over to Israel. So her family, like her parents and she came over in one of those operations, and she was born in, I think, Moscow. So, they're like Jewish, Russian Jewish family, secular. Um, I liked Ilana, so, I talked to Ilana, and Serge talked to the tough girl. And, he looks like a model, you can see that on the photo. And she liked the way he looked, I guess. So Israeli girl kind of took charge and started talking to him. So I just left him in good hands. Talked to Ilana, and then we found out they were with a guy, like a male friend, and that's Yuval. So after we're like kind of talking with them, this guy comes up, and like, and then we're like, who's this guy? And they're like, oh yeah, he's our friend, Yuval, So as Serge was throwing this look like, oh, this guy's trying to steal my woman, nah, well, anyway, yeah, he was kind of, because I think he really liked her. But so we met, and then so Yuval and I, we start talking, and I think Yuval and the two Israeli girls met in the military. If I remember correctly, I gotta ask Yuval about that. The two girls, they met in the military, and they were like serving together, and that's they're like army buddies. So they're kind of vacationing together as army buddies. And Yuval has his own girlfriend, but his girlfriend is religious, I think, or like semi-religious. So they're keeping the Jewish holidays. I think that was why she wasn't there. Or did he just break up? I don't remember. But anyway, Ilana, they weren't dating. They're like army buddies. And so that's what Yuval said. So Serge and I, we just took the word for it. But yeah. So anyway, we became great friends. Like three of us, like five of us hung out together. So that kind of killed any romance that Serge could have had with the other girl, because it's like now the three army buddies are there, and we're kind of like rotating in that army buddy zone, So those of you who are in the military know, I mean, nothing's going to start there. So yeah. So yeah, Yuval is our buddy, like a Three Musketeer, but he basically killed Serge's chance with that girl, Oh well, but anyway, I'll tell you about the sequel to that story. I'm not going to give it all away now, so that you come back and watch for more. Yeah, so anyway, so what ended up happening is Yuval, Serge, and I, we became like best of buddies. And it turned out that Yuval lives in Bat Yam. What is the coincidence? Well, there's not that many Jewish people in Israel. There are more Jewish people in America than in Israel. So I think the probability is higher because the country is like what size of New Jersey or something, or smaller. If you take out like West Bank and Gaza. And so yeah, so but it's kind of quaint that Yuval is from Bat Yam, and he's like from Ashkenazic, like Eastern European immigrant population area of Bat Yam, which was more like inland, like in the city, like more towards city center, whereas like Serge was in the Sephardic Jewish Shashakim part of Bat Yam, which was like by the beach with the discotheque cars and nights at the Roxbury type of individuals, anyway, yeah, so we became buddies, and then we continued our friendship, after the holiday weekend. So three of us were like buddies, and yeah, so it was good, and so Yuval Bedbatzat's parents, you see them to the right of Serge. So you see the father there, and then mother, they're very Ashkenazi looking, right? They're both Bulgarian, from what I understand. Like, I think they're both 100% Bulgarians. I think they immigrated together. No, did they immigrate together? I know the father is Bulgarian. Yeah, I didn't really pry on the mother's side, because, they're all Jewish, but they don't, if you've been with Jewish families, they don't necessarily talk about, I mean, they talk kind of superficially to get this conversation started, but, you don't really go deeply into it. I mean, you have to be like Jewish to understand, or Israeli to understand. But yeah, so yes, there's like superficial conversation. The kind of it's kind of like small talk, but you don't like pry too much into it. So it's like an identity marker kind of, but not like Yeah, it's just you have to just go with the flow in Israel with that. So so Yuval Ben Basat's parents are sitting there next to Serge. Yuval is in the center, and then me, and then Madame Goxlin Gourmand, Colette Goxlin Gourmand, and then uh, Leo Gourmand, Mr. Leo Gourmand. He's a cool guy. I love all of them. They're like so fun to be with, so nice. But anyway, yeah, so we spent our time in Bat Yam, and I have a lot of fun stories. So I actually wrote a novel called Bat Yam. You see, H.C. Kim, that stands for Heerak Christian Kim. So I wrote a novel, and you could read my novel based on my experiences in Israel, some of which is included in today's like conversation. Um, Obviously, I should say the disclaimer: all people are fictitious, blah blah blah. But they're kind of based on my experience because all writers write from their experience. I'm a published author, yes, I am, and that's my novel from Israel, based on my over 3 years of living there. So you could get this Bat Yam from the Bat Yam, a novel is the full title. Bat Yam from Barnes and Noble bookstores or from Amazon. So. And they have audiobook and Audible. So yeah, so check out my book. You get now that I gave you like some background information about Ashkenazic Jews and Sephardic Jews, like the fun stories in the book will make more sense to those who are not Jewish. Because in America, like over 300 billion people are not Jewish. There's only like 6 million people who are Jewish. So most of you watching this show probably don't know what the heck that I was talking about, like Ashkenazic Jews and Sephardic Jews, but yeah. But you'll learn a lot, as you watch this show. See how erudite you're becoming? You're becoming a multicultural person just by watching this show. Today is a celebration show because, as I said in the beginning, uh, we just finished our final exam for spring semester 2020. Yay! It was a exam on taking care of patients in the intensive care unit. Yes, yes, COVID-19 related because if you get COVID and you come in, I mean, what we were tested on today for 2 hours is about like how to take care of you come in with COVID-19, and going to shock and stuff like that. Oh, watch my episode from yesterday on shock. I think you'll enjoy it. If you're interested in learning about, shock and what happens when people get shocked from COVID and stuff like that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my show. I hope you will check out my book, Bat Yam, a novel that is based on my experience of living in Israel. Yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna have many, many fun episodes. I'm a fun guy. I'm running for U.S. Congress for Virginia's 8th district. That's Alexandria, Arlington, Falls Church, and parts of Fairfax County. I'm running as an independent against Don Beyer, who's a current U.S. Representative, and he's a Democrat. I'm independent. I believe I'll do a better job. I'll make Virginia's 8th district much more fun, much more multiculturally in tuned, and I'll start solving problems that needs to be solved. So I am your man. Vote for me in the general election on November 3rd, 2020. Yes, November 3rd, 2020. Look for my name, Heerak. He rocks. Yes, he rocks. Yeah. I think Harry's smiling. Do you see his smile? Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the show and you learned something about COVID. Today was primarily like a celebration show because all the Georgetown University students, the Hoyas, finished their final exams today. So I'm glad that you were able to celebrate with me and other Hoyas. And congratulations again to all the Hoyas there, and especially my cohort members, clinical nurse leader program, graduating class 2020 in the summer. Congratulations to all of you. I love you guys. So I hope you will tune back in tomorrow and watch this show. It's a daily show, so it's every day you have a new exciting content, and you can be updated on COVID and learn something new. So I hope you will come back tomorrow. So I hope that you will be well. and that your family will be well. And see you tomorrow.